If everybody keep on saying that they want peace, why do we continuously keep ourselves in chaos?
Maybe peace isn't avoiding problems. Maybe it's learning what deserves your attention and what doesn't.
What is stealing your peace? That's today's question. Welcome everybody to another episode, another show. Welcome to the Good Neighbors. We are your co-hosts, Dre and Mont, and today's topic is peace.
Peace. What is destroying your peace?
What is destroying your peace? So, what destroys your peace? What steals your peace?
Uncomfortability. I believe that when you're in your own zone and you're trying to figure things out, you want to keep that within yourself. You don't want it to be ruffled. You don't want your feathers ruffled, So all these things that we have, that we hold internal for ourselves with our own self, our own internal peace, it's sacred to us. And it should be sacred to you as well. So
I would say confusion, or no, I would say comparison. Comparison, that steals your peace. When you compare your upbringings, when you compare your resources, when you compare your job, when you compare, when you just compare.
Right. Those
things steals your peace. But we also don't understand why, and the reason is, one of the reasons is, your path is your path. Your journey is your journey. That other person's journey is not the same as yours. That other person's path is not the same as yours. What that person had to endure and go through, we do not know the full details of that, right? So just as well as that person don't know the full details of what we go through, right? Sometimes we go through stuff and people don't even know, and we make it look good, right? So when you start comparing yourself to others, why you're not ahead, why that person got that blessing, why that person got that joy, I would say that will be another placement of what can steal your peace.
I believe so too. I believe that peace isn't something you just find. It's something you want to protect. It's what you choose to what you want to let into your life. And you should want to protect that. Like he said, we don't know what everybody's day-to-day is. We don't know what they have going on. We don't know. But like he said, it may look good. But after you leave that workplace, after you leave that gym, after you leave that, we don't know what other baggage that person is carrying. So we want to protect that. We want to try and keep it. You know what I'm saying? Even when you get bombarded with all kinds of things that's coming your way, family issues, issues with your friends, issues with your workers and stuff, and you go to work every day, you show up, you knock everything out as much as you can, and people don't know what you may be going through behind the scenes. Like you said, it looked good when you see it, but at the same time, when you're done for the day and you got to go home and you got to go to those four corner walls and everything, and it's just you and yourself, what are you going through? And how are you bettering yourself so you can keep your peace within yourself?
That was very good. Yeah. And so the next situation is, why do we stay in a level of problematic or dramatic versus joy and peace? Why do we choose drama over peace? You want to answer that first?
Some people like chaos. Some people thrive on chaos, and that's what motivates them. It's not your cup of tea, but some people, that's how they feel like they're driven. They have to have something always going on, to the point where you think, some people may say that, man, you bombarded with so much stuff, you got a lot of stuff going on, and you like this is what's keeping me sane. This is the peace that I have because I know I have a goal that I am trying to reach. It may seem obscure to you, it may seem foreign to you, but this is how I thrive. This is how I gain that momentum that I to keep going. For the outside looking in, it may look chaotic. So it may look chaotic, it might look good, but there is still more behind the scenes that you have going on within yourself that you are like, I'm okay with this. Some people may want to give you like a little, hey man, maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need to do this. But in your mind, I got things I'm trying to do. And I feel like it may not be a disruption to your peace, but it does add a little bit of something that's, discouraging, so you want to protect that peace within you.
Correct. So I want to piggyback on that. So as you were talking, I had one idea of why we stay in that level, but now I can see two key points right now, at least for the most part. The first one is I want to piggyback on what you were saying is the level of chaos people like, the comfort, right? And so not only is it comfort and chaos, but there's comfort and normalcy. There's comfort in normalize. So when you are in when society normalize things, we call them social norms, right? Mm-hmm. You're used to these things. You're used to being in a level of chaos. You're used to being in a level of those places. So you understand the up, the down, what it takes to remain peaceful in that placement of your life. But then when it comes to peace, joy, and happiness, yes, we do get some taste of it, right? But because we don't taste enough of it or a lot of it, it doesn't come as frequent, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know how to endure that. You don't know how to take that. You don't know how to embrace it. You don't know how to embrace new change. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to embrace, this is different. I'm happy. I'm smiling. I'm at a level of peace. I'm not yelling at my girlfriend. I'm not yelling at my baby mother. I'm not yelling at my family. Something ain't right.
Some people
right?
Some people may want you to crash.
And some people...
to disrupt your peace, they would see how you are acting and your comfortability and how you are attaining your peace. And some people don't have that same kind of peace that you may have. So you might get disruptions and you see them coming. You can see it. Once you start learning and having discernment and you start to see it when it's coming, you know when to put a halt to it. Because you're like, because you have to set your own personal boundaries.
Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. That was my second point. Another reason why we stay in a level of chaos and instead of peace and joy is we do not realize other people don't want you in those places. They don't want you to move ahead without them. They don't want you to be in another zone. Let's just say that you have life is zones. Mm-hmm. You got a comfort zone. You got a spontaneous zone. You got a zone of peace. And so when a lot of us are in zone of comfort, zone of in that zone, there's a lot. You got up, down, bad, left, right. But there's some comfort in how to handle and manage those things. Mm-hmm. Once you get into a different zone of peace, and then you look back at those other zones, and then you say, wait, I didn't have to be this way. Mm. I didn't have to act that way. Yes, that is a part of my life, but I don't have to stay in that zone.
I don't have to stay there.
Let me try this. And what people would do, because some of us aren't conscious enough to see what's going on. You got people that will pull your card. They'll try and start tricking you out of your position. Mm-hmm. With that crab in the barrel mentality, they start telling you, you ain't gotta, call off work. Bro, you've been going to work straight, a whole year straight. You don't want to take a day off, and they'll tell you to call off on one of the most important days your job needs you. Oh, bro, after that, yo, you don't need that. Yo, come back, do this. And so what they're doing is they're keeping you, they're tugging you back.
Tugging you backwards. Who knows? You might be having to work the way you was working because you might need to pay for that trip.
Yep.
You might need to pay for that travel game. You might need to, your mom needs you to help fix something in the crib or something. You might need to purchase something for your dad. And you know you want to work. And some people will be like you said, oh man, you work a lot, man. You don't never take a break. You don't never take a vacation. Because you have to also remember too, some people not just calling on you and just to check up on you. They just want to see how you're doing compared to them. So if I know I'm in a funk and I see you doing it, I want to know how bad of a funk that you in compared to me. So when I hang up off the phone with you, I'm like,
yep.
He ain't got it. I'm glad I ain't got it like that.
What we say before this, comparison. Right? So next topic, is peace a feeling or is peace a daily decision? Do you choose to be at peace or do you not?
You should want to choose to be at peace within yourself and what you have, especially in your circle.
It's hard. I got all these people around me, Debbie Downers.
You got Debbie Downers. You got Debbie Downers. You got enablers. You have all these people. Once you start to learn and start to see things for what they are, and you take that step back and you be like, wow, maybe that was enabling. Maybe that was something that disrupted my peace that I didn't even know until you get out of it, and then you realize, man, I'm glad I got out of that funk.
There was a time when I used to go to work, and I used to let the emotions of 400 different people dictate
your day?
my day. That was a choice, right? That was a feeling, right? That was my decision. That was a daily decision to walk in that place. I'm listening to music, going there happy. The minute I open that door, boop, it's like it all just went away. And then you start, hey, good morning. What's good about today? Then the next person, good morning. You always, and so then now next thing you know, you letting people play you out your position. We just said it. Year later, 15 years later, now you having one bad day. But you walked into this facility with that. Now, that one bad day, you carried on 15 years of hearing what everybody else been saying. You allowed that to go into your ears now. And so then now next thing you know,
you're one of them.
You're one of them.
You are one of them. And that's, that's why, this might be a little, it all depends on how I say it. But that's why I enjoy talking to people that are from foreign different nationalities, because their outlook on life and how they see things, it's a motivation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? It's more upbeat, you know? So whatever they may be having going on, they're not bringing it to work with them.
And they understand their mission. They understand the mission, not their mission. They understand the mission. They understand the task at hand. Do a job, go home, get back to your family. Point blank, period. So I understand this has been a great conversation with everybody. This is good for myself also to understand, levels of areas that I feel that is alongside with peace, and where I also allowed my decision making and what I decided to allow that to be taken away from myself, right? So now we want to talk about some solutions. How can you protect your peace without pushing people away? And you started. That's why I had to stop you real fast, because you was giving the solution away before we was still talking about the problem. But you mentioned it, boundaries. Having boundaries that plays a part with protecting your peace. Men, it is okay to have boundaries, my friend. It is okay. I'm going to say this again. Men, it is okay to have boundaries. It is okay to create boundaries. And a lot of times you don't even know you have boundaries until we don't label it boundaries. We label it some street stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But realistically, you don't even know you have boundaries. It's just how you're using them. And you never knew that you were using them in a different way. But now I'm going to ask you to use them in a different way. And what I mean by that is you've been using your boundaries as a street person or as a dude. You don't let nobody walk over you. You don't let nobody play you. You don't let nobody down talk you. You don't let nobody say whatever they want to say about you, right? Mm-hmm. That's a boundary, because as soon as somebody do that, guess what you do? What? Mm-hmm. You stop it right there.
That's your boundary.
That's a boundary. When you walk in the store and somebody try and play you, you set a boundary. Yo, hold up. I'm the customer. I'm giving you this money. I don't need this. I can go to a different store. Mm-hmm. That's a boundary.
That's a boundary.
It's okay to it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay. What would be another way?
I believe that setting those boundaries for within yourself is something that you have to do. Like you said, from a street perspective, even a work perspective as well. You know what you're willing to accept at the job. You know what your job title is. You know what your position is. And to have someone try to not only overshadow you or over talk you, or this is how we do it now and stuff like that. Okay, that's not how we used to do it. We're doing it this way. But let me basically, without going out of pocket, let me just stop you right there and let you know, boom, 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 that's your boundary.
I learned this in a class that I can relate it to with today's topic. 5 seconds. When somebody is saying something that you disagree with, when something is being done that you disagree with, give yourself 5 seconds before you react. That gives you a decision. That gives you a choice.
It gives you time to think.
It gives you a time to think. Do I want to be in this drama and this mess? Or do I want peace? Mm. And when you figure that out in those 5 seconds, you're going to decide at that point, all right, my friend, you got this. I'm not even trying to argue with you.
You're right.
You good. You got that.
It's okay to step back, and it's not being a sucker. It's not being soft. Your boundaries, what you know what you're capable of doing. And
real people know taking step backs ain't being no sucker. That's being strategic.
It's being strategic.
So don't ever allow nobody to play you out of position. Because if you understand for real, you understand that you not. That's again, it's a boundary thing, right? You know why you doing it. And you're not going to allow nobody to be like, you did a sucker move. Mm-hmm. Let them keep talking.
Let them keep talking.
Because you know what you're doing. And then when the results come out, guess what? Man, I knew you can always bet. So I'm just saying, right? So alongside this, you can have some habits. One of the habits, create a 5-second rule. Create a 3-second rule. Create a reaction rule. Your time might be 30 seconds. It might be a minute. Might be 15 seconds. But give yourself a reaction rule. How many seconds are you going to take before you react? Create that as a habit.
Create it as a habit.
My man right here just helped me a couple days ago. I was on some cold calls. I speak fast. And he was listening, right? He was like, yo, that was good stuff, right? He was like, but yo, slow down. You was getting excited, but I know who you are as a person. So you just, and so before I made the next call, I think I probably waited like about a minute or so, dwelled on it. At first, I was like, yo, I don't know why he telling me what to do, right? But
it goes back to our old episode, G checking versus constructive criticism.
Correct, right? So, but I still respected where he was getting at because I knew I had to slow down, right? But sometimes even telling yourself something, you need somebody else to tell it to you as well. No matter how much you know it, you need to hear it from someone else. So when I heard it, I was like, I took it in for a minute, didn't go off the rails or anything. I did the cold call, slowed down. What did I do after that?
Felt good about yourself.
No, what did I do after that though?
What did you do?
I turned to you and I was like, yo.
You was, yeah.
I slowed down. I seen what that felt like. I was more clear.
You heard it within yourself.
I had more confident build. It was just a different vibe, right? Mm-hmm. So I had created that habit of, all right, let me slow down when I'm making these cold calls because it's not that bad. I'm just trying to rush the information, but they're willing to hear it, right? So again, I'm talking too much, but create a habit that helps you be at a level of peace for yourself, right? I don't know if you got one.
You know, I believe that's what we wanted to put out there. You have to protect your own peace. You have to understand that and what you have going on, because it's only one you, and the best you can do is to be the best you that you can be. But you also can be you with us.
I like that. Yes, sir. And that's and it's the same with us as well. Getting back into that being me, without being so try to be scripted. But yeah. Mm-hmm. So closing message.
Peace isn't the absence of problems. It's knowing who you are, what matters, and refusing to let everything else control your life. You don't need that. The world may always be loud, but your heart doesn't have to be. Protect your peace.